the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Show number 316 for Thursday, February.
It's 1st. February.
Yeah. It
means racing season's just around the corner.
Groundhog's Day Eve.
It is.
Yeah. Hope everybody's celebrating the arrival of the great groundhog.
Yeah.
Wish he brings gifts.
I think I've got Punxsutawney Phil in my live trap, but I'm not sure. Could be dinner tomorrow night.
Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, and a special guest with us in the studio tonight, Craig Dippman, coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, from the Dominator the Dominator Race Product Studio. We got
his microphone keeps running away from him.
We got a little bit of a limp microphone problem there.
Could be.
Okay. You could always put it up high and just have it hang down.
Wait for it to drift down.
Okay. I'm just watching you play with that.
We'll go with that.
Still drifting.
Still charting on the the Apple Podcast charts in Australia and Canada. We did fall off in the US though, so a little disappointed there. But
really,
yeah. But for last week's show, I won't find out until tomorrow. As far as if we get a bump from having weight on last week.
I would hope.
Yeah. You want a chance to win a. Which one of these should we give away another special edition one, or should we just do a regular one?
Let's do a regular one tonight.
I only have a few of them though.
Oh,
we got like 3 of them left. We're gonna give away a regular edition Hammer Down Racing Report. There we go, right there.
What car number is on that one?
Logo on this one?
No, I know.
Special edition.
Special edition's 23.
As in 2023. Yeah,
right.
Special
right.
edition.
I didn't know if there was a number on the standard one.
No, that's just the logo.
Ooh, okay.
Slap one of these on your car.
So it never goes obsolete.
Correct. Slap one of these on your car, and you can be part of the Hammer Down Army.
Pretty cool.
We report on you every week.
I can't get my quarter panel to last that long.
There you go. Turn it a little. There you go.
There we go.
Well, that's why
not to drift down anymore.
That's why you can win these by just putting hashtag DCR in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. Or you can purchase them from DCR Graphics. He sells them $5. He'll mail them out to you.
Do we get a bulk discount?
Possibly. He
might have to look for that.
He wheels and deals. So yeah, there you go. If you have problems with your quarter panels, you need a lot of them. Do that. Send us a picture when you put it on your car, and then we'll automatically put you in the Hammer Down Army. Tonight on the show, why is Craig Dippman here, you ask, from Dippman Motorsports? He is the 2023 Showdown Series champion. Yes. The stocks versus the trucks, and also the winner at the last race in Fremont. We were in the middle of our championship shows, or season champion shows. Track champions.
Track championship.
So we bypassed.
Thank you very much. So we didn't. We was like, we got to get Craig back on because he won that, and we never.
I'm really disappointed. You guys have both got Dippman Motorsports hoodies. I don't even have a darn Dippman Motorsports T-shirt.
We're gonna have to work on that.
I paid good money for this.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I know people in high places. I will get a T-shirt.
Okay.
Shannon.
Speaking of sponsors, got to mention Dominator Race Products. They have what you need to be in winner's circle. Dominator with 30 years of experience to put you out front. Hood scoops, radiator fan shrouds, hood pins, body brace kits, and pretty much everything you need to build a car out of whatever. Well, he's got plastic and he's got supports to go with it. The hood pins aren't plastic; they're the actual hood pins.
He's actually got the new the new panels also for.
I'm going to fix your microphone here. We'll go like this.
We'll go like that.
There.
Is that better?
I
Awesome.
think so. Yeah, I can hear you now.
That is better.
Until it starts beeping down.
Until it starts drifting.
It's drifting away. You got a screwdriver, Scott?
I need like a quarter. You got a quarter? We got to do in-studio repairs. Need a little flathead there to tighten that. Come on, you got everything, don't you? Oh, there you go. Here, we'll fix it right here, right now. Live.
Got a dime, a quarter's too thick.
Yeah, that's.
You were going for a quarter.
Go for a penny. I need a penny.
He was trying to keep it.
And you got, what is that?
I'm not really sure.
You got nuts in your pants?
I do.
Your pocket?
I do. and plugs.
All right, there we go. I think we're good.
I am
Awesome.
not
Put it back.
going there at
right.
all, guys.
This show
Where was
turned-
I? Wait, I
turned
was right in the
really
middle of
bad.
the Dominator read here. I apologize about that. Check out their composite body panels and more. Order direct from Dominator Race Products, or you can call them 419-923-6970. Dominator Race Products also available from your local reputable race shops, such as Ron Miller Race Cars. Are they available from Dippman Motorsports too?
They are.
Okay.
They are. We do carry a lot of the Dippman or the Dominator parts on the truck, also at the track. So
Okay. Contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. They do custom magnets, canned koozies, tumblers, pretty much any kind of gift item that you want. They can customize, put your logo on it or whatever picture. We got these guys here, the car coasters. Car, cool, huh?
that is.
Yeah, it's got a little thing so you can
It's
get
got
the
a notch. So it
Freeze
doesn't
Frame
get stuck-
Photos.
Look at
So
that.
it doesn't get
Yeah.
stuck in your cup holder.
Exactly. You can get your very own.
We're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, give Charlie a call at 419-476-9978. You can do calendars too. He's got the custom calendars. Getting kind of late to get those. I guess there's still 11 months left in the year.
Well, yeah.
So also
You've got the entire race season, Scott.
Which
Freeze
is
Frame
the important part.
Yeah.
returning as the official track photographer at Oakshade in 2024. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments frozen in time. Also, thanks to Oakshade Raceway, DCR Graphics, and Ron Miller Race Cars for sponsoring the program. Before we get to our guest here tonight, got a little bit of things we need to take care of, a little bit of work to do with our racing roundup. Some action
yeah.
from this past weekend.
Racing
What's that?
There was some racing.
Okay.
Racing Roundup.
Speedway Park, the germ-free Southern Sprint Car Shootout. That started last Thursday. Sam Hefferteep Jr. picking up the win there. That's it in the USCS. What was that? The United States Sprint Car Series, US Sprint Car Series.
Probably.
I think that's what that is. Friday, it was Austin McCarroll picking up the win, and then Saturday, Ryan Timms picked up the main event and $10,000 for winning that. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series kicking off the Georgia, Florida, or is it Florida, Georgia Speedwakes?
Georgia, Florida.
Because they started in Georgia. We'll
Yeah.
go with that. Golden Isles last Thursday, Hudson O'Neill picking up the win. Friday night, they got rained out. Saturday, Ricky Thornton Jr. Picking up the win in the Super Bowl of racing, picked up $25,000 for his efforts. It was on to Ocala Speedway on Tuesday. Ricky Thornton Jr. doing it again. And then on Wednesday, Hudson O'Neill back in victory lane. Did you watch any
I
of that?
didn't.
You did?
We was watching it, and it was actually pretty fun racing. You had Mike Marlar, Davenport, Ricky, O'Neill. That was all up there, and made some
Saturday was pretty.
pretty interesting highlights. Yes.
Yeah, I was a little
Yeah.
frustrated because I was trying to watch it on my phone while I was at the Walleye hockey game,
Right.
and my phone froze when we were talking about
Right.
when Marlar and
Right.
Thornton got together there.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think Davenport and Thornton are going to be exchanging Christmas cards.
I
this
don't
year,
believe so this year. I think they've went
which
their
is kind of
separate-
nice. It's good to have some rivalry.
The season's early.
Yeah.
Right.
The Rolex 24 at Daytona took place this past weekend. Started on Saturday, ended on Sunday. Team Penske was the big winner there. They of the Grand Touring Prototype class, an overall winner. Era Motorsports won the Le Mans Prototype 2 class. And I should have done some more research on this. The Risi Competizione Grand team, they won the Grand Touring
Italian's a little off.
Daytona. Was that Italian? I thought it was French.
Well, it could be European.
Windward Racing won the Grand Touring Daytona class. Not the pro class, just the regular class there.
They
Those
were
are the
saying
four
that it
winners.
was 55 years since Penske's last win at the Rolex.
Has it been that long? Wait,
I think
has
that's
he been
what
racing that long?
I think that's what they said.
Wow. Down under in Australia, Friday night, James Inglis won the Lockdown Sprint Car Championship at Premier Speedway. Joe Chalmers picked up the win in the Victorian Late Model. Saturday, it was Lockie McHugh in the Lockdown Sprint Cars and Callum Harper in the Victorian Late Models. I love their names down there.
Yeah.
They're fun. Albany Speedway on Saturday. Shane Wild, that's WHILD, won the Southern Street Stock feature event. Kristen Falconbridge.
Ooh,
Another
nice
very
name.
Australian name there. Won the V8 Dirt Modified. Esperance Speedway on Friday night. Stephen Element and Glenn Carstairs won the Western Australia Formula 500 events. Saturday, it was Stephen Element picking up the main event win there in the Western Australia Formula 500s.
Former guest Veronica McCann made the trip all the way across from Western Australia and ran in the Nationals. I think she started way forward in the feature. She had some very good preliminary events, only to have a valve stem ripped out of her wheel and sidelined her for the day in the main.
I did see something about that.
Yeah. We're going to have her back on, Scott. She's a real good guest.
Red Hot Ronnie?
Red Hot Ronnie.
Prestige Pool. Okay, well, this is New Zealand now. We're done with Australia. One race to cover in New Zealand, the Prestige Pool Waikaraka Family Speedway.
Not familiar
with that one? I thought you might be able to help me out with that one.
Nah, sorry about that one, dude.
The Prestige Pool Waikaraka Family Speedway in New Zealand. Bobby Pierce picking up the win in the Super Saloons.
Yeah, it's kind of like the super sedans that they run in Australia, except they actually sit on the left side like we do in the States. The super sedans in Australia, the drivers sit on the right side, but go the same way we do. They turn counterclockwise. Kind of scary.
Right.
Okay. And that is your racing roundup for this past weekend. The racing season getting underway. Things starting to pick up down south around here. So we'll have a lot more next week.
Attica is opening in just over a month. First local track.
Fremont Speedway put out their schedule today. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Also, we give away some Big D's Pizza with How Many coming up a little bit later on as well. Got to mention Ron Miller Race Cars in Lambertville, Michigan. He's got race cars, parts, safety equipment, transmission service.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, anybody had a
no
chance to
news
look at
is
mine
good
yet?
News, Scott.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it. Everything a racer needs, give them a call, 734-856-7223. And also going to mention Oak Shade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race, UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals, coming back to town for the birthday race on Saturday, July 13th. It's going to be an American Late Model Series event as well in June. Still no official schedule yet from Oak Shade. Still a little early for a schedule from those guys.
The pressure's on because Fremont already has theirs out.
We'll see how things fall into place here. As soon as we know, it'll be posted at oakjaderaceway.com. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and even TikTok. You into TikTok? You seem like a big TikToker.
I'm not. Nope, TikTok, any of that.
I don't know TikTok.
Nope, I get on Facebook a little bit, and that's just basically because I wind up buying a lot of stuff off of there.
So last time I think we had you on was when we did was back during the pandemic.
Yeah,
about that time we were doing the virtual car show.
The virtual car show. We did a couple events with that. I think that turned out really well.
Yeah,
that was a kind of a 6-week process going through that. Kind of a little fun to work
something
through.
To do while everybody's at home.
Right.
Yeah.
We had nothing to do while we were working on cars, getting ready for the season that year, and not really knowing what
if there was going to be a season.
Correct. If there was even going to be any at
absolutely.
some of the tracks. I don't think I think that was the year Lima Land didn't run at all.
Didn't run at all? Okay.
Yeah, they decided not to run that year. So, yep.
I know the dirt tracks finally got things going.
Right.
I think it was Flat Rock didn't run, and Toledo ran a couple at the end of the season with no people. Anyways, let's put that stuff behind us.
Bad stuff.
That never happens again.
Right.
Never want to visit that one again.
No.
Showdown Series. Did you race in it the year before in 2022?
I did race in it. Yes, in 2022.
Where'd you end up in that one? I didn't do my homework in that.
Don't remember.
Okay, so it wasn't that great.
It wasn't memorable.
Evidently,
saying it wasn't memorable.
I
know I had him Lance one. Well, he didn't win. He finished
He
first.
finished first.
And then a truck was the actual winner. I don't remember who it was. The first and
was it
only.
Jamie that won that the first
Jamie
year?
Miller?
Was it
Was it Jamie?
Miller?
It might have been.
I think Jamie Miller did win
Okay.
that the first year.
But it was only a single event in the first
I know
year.
we were running up front because I know Tony Anderson was driving the blue car that night.
I think that was the night too. Earlier in the race, you chopped down across my nose coming off a 4.
I could have.
Yeah,
I could have.
I
I
do
was
remember
trying
that.
to. I was trying to show you which line to run.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was. You're welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we ran top 5 that night. We missed the setup a little bit. The track was real. That was a real challenging track to get a hold of that night. This year.
When this year the Showdown Series added a date at Oakshade,
Yeah,
so there was this past year there was 2 races. You finished second at Oakshade, and then after the rain out delay toward the end of October, then finally got that in, and you ended up overcoming some adversity in that race.
Both of them, both actual races. We actually both of them we got tangled up early on with a little bit of contact going around on both of them.
Whose fault was the contact? Who initiated the contact?
I couldn't even tell you. I've never seen where I had the contact going into turn 3, but I wound up losing it in both shows, going to the tail and working the way up through the field. The first night at Oakshade, I think we were looking pretty good at being able to. We were making the high side work through 3 and 4 at Oakshade, which was really strange. But really getting a good run going, and we had a late caution, and we wound up losing our right rear tire, which kind of just relegated us to just dropping off and finishing second behind Lance. He had a really fast car that night, and didn't have the adversity we did. And then we go into Fremont. And Fremont, it was an up and down. We had the big one right after I went to the tail, which kind of
was that good or
probably
bad?
A good thing.
Well, it was very very challenging to get through that, to come out the other side without getting tangled up with that many cars in 1 and 2. But yeah, it worked out pretty good for us, and wound up being able to actually do some racing in the middle of that. It went green for quite a while, and we wound up with.
Did you have to be extra aggressive to get back to the front?
We had to.
You haven't paid attention to Craig racing. He's always aggressive.
It's
attack.
That's a leading question.
Correct. We had and I kind of raced what everybody else was racing that night. Everybody was racing a little more aggressive. I know that there was a lot of contact in a lot of the guys between the 2 divisions being merged in them races, whether it be at Oakshade or at Fremont. You have a lot of different driving styles between the 2 vehicles, and that leads into a lot of contact between them. The trucks enter the corners a lot more under throttle than we do, and drive it in deeper. We rely on our suspension to get through the middle and be able to get off the corner better than they are. So it kind of leads into, with them 2 driving styles in the vehicles, some contact in there. That'll
be my excuse then I use.
Yeah, I mean and I drove Dan Hennig's truck earlier in the year, and really picked up on the differences in driving on that track with a truck. And
was that on a regular race night?
Yeah.
How'd you end up?
We won the heat race. We wound up getting turned around in the feature about 3 laps in. I think we were running right around 5th or 6th, and wound up losing. I don't remember. We lost a tire, or we lost a ball joint or something that put us in the pits. But we had a really fast. That Dan's truck is a real fun truck to drive. On the same as your car, driving that. I'm not very comfortable being in something 6.4, and
I don't know. Did we talk about that after the Hangover race about him getting in my car?
I don't know that we did.
We had to make
Scott.
some. I know we talked about the steering wheel and inverting that. And
There was some video taken of that.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that.
I haven't either, but
I got a little cushion to lift me up because apparently torso wise, I'm a little shorter than you.
correct.
Your head was up against the roof there.
The roof,
I think.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. The steering
So
wheel.
you could have
was-
just took the roof off. You could have just looked up over the bars.
Correct. Just about. Yes. Yeah, and that's basically getting into
Somebody else's.
any vehicle that somebody else has set up. I'm really challenged to get into them. So especially them trucks. Them trucks are really very compact in them. Especially the older ones that were built are very, very tight quarters in there.
Craig, you've got a few laps at Sandusky. What do you think about the October 19th race there? How's that going to play out?
I'm not really sure. I think that's going to be a fun one because I believe between running with you at times and running with Corey McCoy at times, getting on that track. Oh, I've had some real fun laps around there.
Yeah.
We had them trucks get around that track very, very similar to our stock cars, and they do very well. In again being lined up aside of them, they do very well.
Just for some of our listeners who may not have heard, but we made that announcement a few weeks ago. What was it before? Oh, I don't even remember when it was when we made that announcement.
We're having so much fun with this. It's hard to tell.
But yeah, Sandusky's having an event late
October 19th.
And what was it called? The
I don't remember.
It had something Halloweenish.
Yeah.
Something in the Dusky. I'm going to have to look that back. I wasn't prepared on that. But yeah, they're going to have the stock cars. They're going to have
Dave Kemmer,
special
help
event.
us out.
Yeah, give me all the information on that, Dave, if you can. But a special event coming there. Anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, that race is going to be. I think that's going to be another one that's going to be a fun one. That very similar to the.
Do you think? How do you
Showdown.
think the asphalt cars? Because I believe the Wheelman Series cars have been invited to that to compete with us and the trucks, the super stocks, the dirt super stocks, the dirt trucks, and the asphalt Ohio Wheelman Series. How do you think that's going to play out?
I think they're going to be very competitive. The Wheelman cars are very similar to our super stocks as far as the build of the cars. They carry a full frame, but when it comes down to their suspension, I think they can run the 3-bar suspension like ours, which I think is going to be very competitive as long as I think it's going to come down to figuring out what tire is going to be durable enough to last in October, yet not going to be too hard that you can't get any traction. So I think it's going to be a tire, one of them deals with who can figure out the tires. Because if we wind up with a 65 or a 70 degree October day, I don't believe our late model and dirt tires are going to work very well for lasting what it's going to take to get around that track.
Nightmare Clash in Dusky.
There you go.
Fremont Dirt Trucks, Oakshade Super Stocks, Asphalt Street Stocks. And then also a couple other classes. The All-American Iron Series going to be there. What else? The Midwest Dirt Compact Series, I believe it is. And CRS Super Trucks. And again, that's October 19th at Sandusky. Excuse me. Do you think your hangover race track time will help in that event? I'm assuming you're going to be competing. What are you going to be competing in?
I have no idea.
He's got a couple of everything.
We and that's the thing. When it comes down to it, we do have a new truck that we're going to be breaking out this year at some point. It's a very unique to Fremont. I think we got one of the first Rangers that's going to be coming out in quite some time. So we have our options. I know in the backing up to the challenge race with the super stock in the truck, Jamie Fowler's car that, and we got to give him props on that. The car that I was driving,
I wanted to ask you about that.
Was Jamie Fowler's super stock. And
so why were you driving that as opposed to your?
Well,
was his car better than yours?
Politics.
A little backstory, real quick on that is the fact that when it come down to it, Chuck Fowler was originally supposed to be wheeling that car in them 2 shows. The Jamie lost his motor earlier in the season down at Eldora and Waynesfield, and wound up having his car sit there. We had what I referred to as his little Frankenstein motor that was built for Chuck and his car, which we don't have Chuck Fowler's super stock ready yet. So me and Jamie come together and we decided to put the motor together and put Chuck in it. Well, we showed up out to Oakshade one Sunday to get Chuck comfortable, to get the seat, to get everything set. And he just wasn't really comfortable in it as far as space. He's a tall guy and he's very, very stocky in the chest area and just didn't feel comfortable with what it took to get in and out of that car. So he asked if I would drive the car for the showdown race for him and Jamie. And I'll tell you right now, the cars out of Oakshade for the showdown, I'll tell you, Jamie's got them things figured out for the Oakshade rules. When they opened it up with that coilover eliminator, the engineering he has with some of that is really good. So
what you're saying is take a look under that.
You might want to take a look under there, and there's a new spring smasher that's sitting there in my shop to start learning on a little bit. But yes, there's advantages there that has really played into, along with one change we did make with both of them races during both nights was playing a little bit with our Martin Dynamic shocks. He picked up with Gabe Mueller. They teamed up when Gabe was driving for him. Martin Dynamics was running their shocks on their cars, and let me tell you, some really, really good packages that they have in them shocks. We made some changes and really was a noticeable change during them races.
One thing you haven't mentioned though is that car's Ford powered, correct?
That is in not only is it Ford powered, the distributor is kind of
on the
wrong end.
On the wrong end. It was getting me broken in for the truck.
Has he made you a believer in the Ford power? Then?
I've always been a believer in the Ford. I've never cared for it just because of my familiarity with the Chevy, with the small block, and how well I am versed. Just similar with him on the Ford. We just like us in a drag racer, we can asphalt race, and we kind of give each other grief at times, but all in all, I'll tell you, Chuck's little motor is it's kind of and the reason we call it a basket case Frankenstein motor is it's all Jamie's hand-me-down parts. Dave Dickens built a motor there for Chuck out of all Jamie's
spare parts,
out of stuff,
right? Out of stuff sitting there. And I'll tell you, it turned out he built a very, very good, solid, strong piece. Everything within that package works very well. It by no means left me at the beginning of the night. I think we were all struggling for horsepower and a nitrous button with how heavy that track was. But as the late models blew it off a little bit, and it turned out to be a little slick down in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 wound up being a little heavier and a little bit more to get a hold of, but a very racy track to get a hold of.
I remember before the buy-in race talking to you a little bit.
Oh yeah,
you said which line to run. It was like okay, and it worked out.
It worked.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's where coming from the back of the field through the field and really challenging some of the lines, and the driving lines wound up being an advantage in that figure out what's working, there you go.
Right there.
Yep. What's working and what's not. And yes, that was very good to see that stay out there. And yes, especially with after getting the car in the shop and seeing some of the things that needed to be repaired after the long season,
and the rear end about to fall apart, rear end gear,
rear end gear about
So
yes.
but back to the Showdown Series. This is the first actual series this past year, 2 races, but still
Right.
that counts as a series. What does it mean for you to be like the inaugural champion of that?
More than you can imagine. This is not only was it Art Ball and somebody a lot of us looked up to. I think I may have raced against him back when I was in the late model. May have raced against him here and there, but it was somebody that we all knew of, we all respected, we all really looked up to. And not only was it that, but I've been at this for 25-ish years now, and that wound up being the first championship.
Really?
That was that is the first championship that I've ever won. I've been bridesmaid.
How does that work though? Do you get to keep the championship stuff, or do you split it with Jamie? Is it like the shared custody or what?
Well, we both have possession. It's shared custody on the hardware. Basically, when I drive it, just like I told you when I hopped in your car, the money part of it, I've always worked. The money stays with the car and what goes into the car. So as far as the money that we received from that, the race win, the second, and the championship, Jamie, as the car owner, we put that all towards the car. So that all paid for the tires that we got and the fuel and all the expenses, and really helped out with finishing the year off on a good note with Jamie's team, especially with some of the adversity that all of us faced. I know he lost his primary motor down. I think it finished off down in Waynesfield, but then I lost one of my primary motor, and I think Betty lost the primary motor down at Eldora earlier in the season also, which kind of
you name your cars.
Black
Betty.
Black Betty. I so gotcha. Black Betty, and the blue one we'll just leave that as the blue one.
Okay.
Yeah. We got Black Cherry, Black Betty. We got the blue one.
And the blue one. All right.
Yeah. So kind of name the cars. Some of them come up with
you do
nicknames.
Have a lot though, so I mean,
right. Yes.
Got a name for the truck yet?
We have not come up with a name for the truck. No. The late model's sitting there, which that one hasn't been named because I think that one's not really sure if it's going to be sticking around or not.
Oh, I see.
It's there, it's ready to go. We might depending on schedule, it's going to get a new body, and that one's going to be up for sale. And if we decide to open up, if weather lets us go to Attica on a Friday night and Lima's not open or whatever, then we got some options there. But the first thing we got to do is get a couple of them finished up.
Are you going to be back to defend your Showdown Series title?
We're hoping to.
Okay. What is your overall thoughts on that combined series and that idea that Corey McCoy put together?
I will tell you, Corey has done a phenomenal job. It as far as the money, the funding, the sponsors, the package, the racing, that has been it's a fun show. We had Oak Shade, we had over 70 cars. I believe we had over 50 at
it was
Fremont.
Like 40. It was right around 50.
Right around 50 at Fremont.
That's pretty good car count
that's huge. Yeah. That's huge for a super stock show. That's huge for the area. Most tracks struggle around here with some of the super stocks and the scheduling and everything, and the weather. But no, it is a blast. the super stocks, I've dabbled in the modified, the late model here and there, but when it comes down to it, I've kind of the wife and me, she really loves the super stock division.
Now, do you think the trucks and the super stocks are pretty equally matched? And I believe the trucks are getting 4 barrels this year.
There was talk
is that happening or no?
There was talk that
for the Showdown Series, yes.
Just Showdown.
But not weekly.
Not a weekly.
Gotcha.
Correct. Yeah.
So what do you think that's going to do to the Showdown Series? Is that going to make the trucks a lot harder to beat then?
It all depends.
And is that in response to you winning?
Well, and that's going to really come back to track conditions. Scott.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
If it's a hammer down track, then
it's just like Oakshade. When I've gone to Oakshade, there's been times I've left Lima Land and won on a Saturday night with my 2-barrel. So when it comes down to it, if the track, if they give us a track like we had this year, I'm pretty sure that the 4-barrel will play. Will give them.
Are you talking about the Tuesday night at Fremont?
The final night.
The final night. Tuesday night at Fremont.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That if they had 4-barrel, I'm sure that it would have been a little different of a show, just with the lack of grip down on 1 and 2 and the excessive grip that we had down in 3 and 4. I think it would have been a little struggle for a few of the guys to get a hold of the really slick end of the track on one end and really give an advantage coming off of turn 4 with getting the power put down on the end of the track that had a lot of traction.
So you're going to go and try and defend your title next year?
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna show up.
Wait, is that going to be, and then again, that's the same question that I had about Sandusky. Are you going to be in a super stock or are you going to be in a truck?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep. Definitely. Yes.
One or the other.
Yes. And
or you might have someone driving the other.
I don't even know who the owner. I don't even know who the owner of the vehicle is that I'm going to be driving. We got trucks, we got cars, we got heck, I might drive for Chuck next year. I'm not really sure.
All right. So what plans do you have other than the Showdown Series for racing next year? You're building the Fremont truck.
We got the truck that we've been working on for
couple years.
Yeah, it's been.
Yeah, I remember. Is that the same chest or
same
frame
chest,
you got?
Same one that's been in there.
Wow.
It's been in there. It's been out of there.
Is it going to be done this year?
I'm pretty sure we had a very, very good regeneration of ambition when the art piece of a motor that we wound up on a dyno, and getting to hear that really kind of lit a fire under us to really work on getting that truck finished up. That's going to be a very, very fun piece.
And you want to get competing with the trucks that Ron's been building as well, right?
Well, we got Ron. We got a couple of
Ron and Steve are going truck racing too.
Ron and Steve are going to be out there truck racing. We got Corey that has been racing with us, and we've been really working between Corey and Dan Hennig and Tony Burns and some of the guys. We've been out there working kind of the same as Ron with trying to get some of these guys with our banner running out there pretty good
without spending millions of dollars trying
to do it. And that's where guys like Ron and Jamie and these guys really come into play with trying to do it with engineering instead of dollars.
So would you say the truck is going to be your primary focus this year?
No.
Okay.
No. I think we're gonna go.
Yeah. Where's your Saturday night home?
Yep. I'm not. I haven't.
Where's your Friday night home?
That all depends on, I guess, track conditions. That's gonna come in as you guys were talking about the last couple shows. How many tracks are bringing new
dirt.
Hopefully
all of them.
Every
track in our area.
Correct. And I'm hoping that when it comes down to it, I'm hoping that some of the tracks that have had a challenge. I know I was talking to Chrissy earlier today, and I'm really hoping that we get some of these tracks back on track. It's you've had some real rough
You're not
track
answering the
condition.
question.
I'm shooting for Eldora.
Okay.
Eldora, which Ron's question was Saturday or Friday. Eldora is all over the board.
Yes.
They have the races, and we're going to.
So you're going to be running the stock down at or late model.
No, we're going to be running the super stock down to Eldora. Okay. I believe for points. We're going to kind of shoot off for that as long as we can get the power plants to cooperate with us and quit having some part failures that we've had the last couple of years.
Is Eldora, since it's a bigger track, is it a lot harder on the motors?
Yes and no. We've had the last couple years we've had motor failures over part issues. Oh. It really hasn't been a fact of us turning them that much harder. Yes, you're on the gas a lot more down there,
but you're not on and off the gas.
Correct.
And
you don't have the up and down,
and that's hard on an engine.
So you got some guys that the ones that, like Ron can contest, the ones that really challenge the build of the motor are the ones who try to strive for the RPMs and getting the RPM range way above what probably the motor should be with the gears. So we run a very we go down there and we don't try to. Dave builds us some very, very good motors, and we don't try to challenge that with running 9,000 RPMs, running a 567 gear on a super stock. So we run a very conservative gear down there. So we do it. We try to do it again with setup, and that's where working with a couple guys within a team kind of plays in.
And you ended up, you ran Eldora last year. Where'd you end up in points?
I think we finished off. We had a DNF with the. I think we had a DNS. We didn't even get anything besides show up points the one night, and we only got 4. I think we got rained out. We got rained out the final night, so we only got 4 nights in. I think I finished 5th. I think
not bad.
No,
especially with DNS or DNF.
Correct. Our finishes we're usually plucking on the door down there. I think we had a 2nd place finish down there again. So it's.
Would you say that's your favorite track? Do you have a favorite track?
Prior to pandemic, my favorite's always been Lima.
Okay.
My favorite prior to pandemic was always Lima Land. That track has always been at the top of my list. The prestige of Eldora and being on Eldora's track is that's one, if you get a chance to do, is well worth it.
It's the Eldora mystique.
It is. And the nice thing with Eldora is the fact that you have the luxury of running. You can run right on the wall like you see on TV, or a little more conservative is running down low and to the middle of the track, and still have a blast doing it, and still can make actually really productive laps and competitive laps down there. So it's a fun track to be on. It's as long as they give you a smooth track. If I think last year we had a choppy track a few times, and that'll beat the hell out of you. So yeah, it's a fun time.
Well, looking forward to seeing you whatever you end up in, other than the super stock at Eldora.
We will be racing.
See how that truck does.
Yes, we will be probably racing a little of everything this year. Again, just like we've explained, one championship over 25 years. There's a reason for that. I don't point race very well.
Well, the Showdown Series was perfect for you. It was 2 races.
It was 2 races.
It may be more this year.
I'll tell you right now, if it wasn't for that late caution, it quite possibly might not have happened, because I was going to full send into turn 3 on that last lap on the high side. If we didn't get that caution out, Jamie would happen have trouble with, I guess, a tire going down.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Wound up having trouble holding the bottom of the track, which opened it up for us with that caution on the last lap. But yeah, just a quick shout out. We had mentioned a couple with Jamie Fowler's car. Just a shout out. We got Chuck Fowler that owns the motor. We got Jamie Fowler that owns the car. Martin Dynamics, huge coming on board with us with the shock package. And you got Mike and Robbie Anderzak out there that I know with our situation and our customers, I know we had a bound up shop most of the year, and Robbie out there at Anderzak Construction really helped out Jamie with his car and a place to work on it and everything. So that was figure on hitting them up. It wound up being pretty good for them. They great teamwork out there.
Where do you get the numbers done?
Them numbers actually was quickly done. I think Dale Cole threw them numbers because we basically threw some door skins on it to get Gabe's door skins off because I think I'm not really sure, but Jamie had an inkling that the stickers were going to have trouble sticking to the aluminum for our races. I'm not really sure what that was, but he basically threw some new aluminum on and we slapped some stickers, and that was a last minute get some stickers on it. And it was up in the air what number we were going to run. And I was like, hey, run your old number. So that's the number he always ran when I think Chuck ran, what was it? Z108.
Z108.
Yeah. And then Jamie ran the 99. So yeah. That was a fun time, and like I said, we'll look out. Never know where we're going to wind up this year. We got I know we got track service that we're doing both at Oakshade and at Fremont this year, and then we have.
How are you going to do that?
Yep,
two places at once.
A lot of help.
Okay,
a lot of help. That's pretty much it, and then we got Millstream that we're working on getting a deal put together to be able to service Millstream Speedway. I know
they got two confirmed shows. Least.
They're going to, from what I was
want to
told,
schedule a few more.
Yeah, it's going to be a
later in the
limited
season.
schedule this year and kind of work into a little fuller of a schedule next year. So we're definitely looking forward to that and getting our trucks out there and having some fun racing this year. I think it's going to be a fun season.
Well, congratulations.
Why, thank you.
Mr. Showdown champion.
Thank you.
Craig Dippman. Speaking of DCR graphics, it's right here.
Look at that.
Look at that. Transition
that worked out good.
DCR Graphics is your vinyl racing graphics provider. They do full wraps, partial wraps, number decals, sponsor decals just about any kind. Quick numbers if you need a quick.
Very quick. I think we did that in like 2 or 3 days that we called him up and said, hey, throw some numbers. Here's what they look like. And he had them to us.
They also specialize in banners, diecast, t-shirt designs. They can work with you to create a design, or they can print something you already have. DCR Graphics, locally owned and operated. Call or text Dale at DCR Graphics 419-308-9523. Check them out at Facebook at facebook.com/DCR Graphics. You can order your official Hammerdown Racing Report window stickers from him. Not just window, they're car stick, whatever, these stickers.
That one.
That you can put on your car, and he'll send it out to you for just $5. He'll bring it to the track, whatever. I think he's planning on racing around. I know he'll be at Oakshade a few times, but he probably is going to be getting around there. Show us your Hammerdown sticker on your race car this summer or before this summer, and you'll be part of the Hammerdown Army, and we'll report on your finishing positions.
You missed the big pre-24 price sale, but I understand his pricing is still very aggressive.
Yeah, he has. I believe they're posted on his Facebook page,
right?
So you can check that out, and he can do custom things as well. Got a little bit of racing news to get to here. Actually, quite a bit. Hashtag DCR. Type that in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Still time to get in on that drawing for one of those window decals.
Latest racing news.
So the third annual Whiteout 100 at Mid-Michigan Raceway Park was postponed from this past weekend.
It's the Mud Out 100.
Due to a saturated pit area. It is scheduled to be run sometime in mid-February. I saw the forecast earlier tonight, and it was like 40s and 50s all the way.
It's not looking good.
No,
No.
I mean, it's going to be dry for a while, but I don't know if that's going to help with the mud condition there. Have you had any desire to go up there and run?
We had thought about it. I know Steve went up there.
Yeah, I went with him
a couple years ago,
Yeah,
and we had thought about it.
It was fun.
It seems like after the hangover race, we get going a little bit beforehand, and we'll work on some stuff. And it seems like after the hangover race, we really lace up the boots and go to town on it. So yeah, it's never really works out into our schedule.
It's really a fun little racetrack. If
Is
you
it?
ever get a chance to go up there, take the late model up
Right.
there. Or,
Yeah,
they don't have a huge field, but
how big of a track is that?
ooh, I'd say it's a quarter.
Big quarter.
Probably a big quarter, yeah.
Huh.
Plenty of
I
gear.
don't think it's as wide as like Lima, but
No, but it's a fun little
Yeah,
place.
Nice.
A lot.
Yeah, we'll have to keep that on the options
you go.
for this year.
A crash took place at Daytona International Speedway before the start of the famed Rolex 24. The safety car was pacing the Heritage exhibition field on Saturday morning. I guess it was classic cars. The safety car was a BMW. It appears that it hit the wall during the exhibition. The Heritage exhibition features former Rolex 24 cars. 2 people were transported to an area medical facility being in that crash. Did you see the pictures of that? There was no video that I could find, but
of that wreck, no.
the airbags went off.
I
That
saw
safety
quite a
car
bit of
was
the
done.
race, but
I didn't get to see much of the race. That's a long race.
it is not something you want to watch all of.
Driver registration is open at Fremont Speedway as of yesterday. The $10 registration fee is waived if you register before March 31st. More details can be found at FremontOHSpeedway.com. Did you guys get registered yet?
I have not got registered.
Not yet, but I will.
I know that also in that same category, I know the UMP membership. Chrissy usually does
At Oakshade.
an early sign up to where you get a discounted UMP membership sign up out to Oakshade at some point. So yeah, we'll be getting our signups rather soon here.
Speaking of Fremont Speedway, they have released their 2024 schedule as of this morning. That schedule kicks off on Saturday, April 6th with the regular racing program of the Fort Ball Pizza Palace 410 Sprints, the Fremont Federal Credit Union 305 Sprints, and the Burmeister Trophy Dirt Trucks. Highlights on the schedule include the Great Lakes Super Sprint 360s versus the 305s. And that same night is the Stocks versus Trucks on May 18th. I did confirm with Corey McCoy that is not a showdown event.
But it's a
but it is
showdown
Stocks-
type event.
Showdown type event.
gonna be the
Stocks
same.
versus...
And that's on a
a Saturday night, Saturday, May 18th. So, and I believe Eldora is running Super Stocks that night, as
boy.
well as Oakshade running Super Stocks. So it'll be interesting there. But I guess according to Rich Farmer, he commented on our Facebook page, it was a scheduling issue. It was the best they could do. Which it's a versus night. They got the 360s versus the 305s. So why not give it a try? You might get some of
the guys.
Lima guys.
Yeah, depending.
Or something.
Well, even the Oakshade,
Some of the
you get some
people
of the guys
that aren't running for points.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
and listeners, you can mark this down. It's 3 days before my birthday.
Also highlighting the Fremont schedule, the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series will make an appearance. That'll be Memorial Day, Monday, the 27th of May. That motorcycle flat track racing that we talked to when we had Rich on last fall, that's happening on August 10th. Fremont Fair 305 Sprint Car Race will be Monday, August 19th. The Jim and Joanne Classic is set to be the richest race in Fremont history. That'll take place the weekend of Friday, the 13th of September, and the 14th, Saturday, the 14th of September. $20,000 to win for the 410s on Saturday night.
Ooh,
So
how
that'll
much
be-
for the trucks?
And it's as far as I can tell, it's an unsanctioned 410 event.
and it'll pull.
It used to be an all-star
Right.
sanctioned event, but yeah. So it'll be interesting to see who shows up for that. I'm not sure. I didn't look at any of the other schedules to see if what
Probably
is going
a lot
on.
of 360s show up for that one too.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
You got one of those yet?
Not yet. No, I'm not.
He has a sprint car wing. I know that.
I still have a stock car that looks like one, but I think that's as close as I'm allowed to get to one.
I see.
Yes.
The Fast on Dirt series will have 2 events there, including Ohio Sprint Speed Week on June 9th. They're going to have 9 Attica Fremont Championship Series 410 and 305 events. The final event of the season will feature super late models and stocks and trucks. Again, at this point, not an officially sanctioned Showdown event.
Right.
Corey has not released those dates yet, but stocks and trucks and late models, that's on Friday, October 11th. Friday, October 11th, yeah. All events also will be streamed on Dirt Vision, which I believe that's a new thing, joining Attica.
Yep.
So that'll be kind of
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Millstream Speedway has scheduled 2 work days at the Speedway this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, starting at 8 a.m. both days. So if you're feeling ambitious and you want to get up early, they're planning to replace the boards on the pit side grandstand. They want everybody that's coming out to park on the driveway leading to the pit gate, stay off the ground because the ground is muddy, I guess.
Very saturated.
Yes. Check out Millstream's Facebook page for more information and any schedule changes on that. But the forecast for this weekend looks pretty nice.
Mild, yeah.
And finally, Andretti teamed up with Cadillac to put in an application to join the Formula One World Championship. Andretti fields teams in IndyCar, IMSA, IMSA, whatever. Indy Next, Formula E, Supercars Championship. But Formula One has rejected Andretti's application to join the grid. Quote, "We do not believe that the applicant would be a competitive participant," unquote. That's from Formula One.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah. Haas Formula One will remain the only American team in the sport. Formula One has stated they're open to Andretti resubmitting for 2028.
Wow.
Are they stating
so basically
that the Cadillac
it sounds like they're saying you're not good enough.
Right.
Cadillac was very prominent in the Daytona 500 or in the 24-hour race.
Yes.
They ran second, but they led a fair amount of that race.
I don't know. Pretty. I read that. I was pretty surprised. I was like, oh, okay.
That's bold.
He doesn't have much on it.
Very bold.
His resume is lacking a little bit there. I think he needs a few more series. Hammer Down hotline. We actually have some text messages from this past week. If you want to call, leave a message, or text us, feel free to do so. Right there is the number that's covered up by that.
419-318-3081.
There you go. Call or text anytime, day or night. And well, chances are we'll talk about it on the show like we're going to do right now, because got a text here. We asked people about the virtual flagman. Did you hear about the virtual flagman?
No,
what
I did
track
not.
was that? Pennsylvania track. I can't remember which one now. They were getting rid of a flagman and instead putting extra signage and lights.
I think it was Lincoln, wasn't
it? Was it Lincoln? It sounds okay.
Virtual flagman.
Yeah.
Nobody in the flag stand.
I'm kind of old school. We have our lights around the tracks
and receivers.
Correct, and receivers and the tower speaking to us, but old school. I'm kind of particular to coming out of turn 4, coming to a.
You want to see the checkered flag?
I want to see a person.
And something else we brought up was all the kids that mimic the flagman in the grandstands with their flags. Absolutely,
yes.
That's.
So here was some feedback we got on both sides of the issue here. We got a couple of different things. The first one was electronic flagman. I'll say, why not? Most flagmen I've seen lately are just puppets of the officials in the press box anyways. Rarely is the flagman making a crucial or pivotal decision. Unquote. That's
I'll tell you right now, they are a hell of a lot closer to the action, seeing the action than the tower is. So an extra set of eyeballs out there, I'm all for.
And that was something else that we brought up. How often does the tower get out of control? Too much going on
Right.
where you can't pay attention to.
In my
everything.
NDA,
And they're not worried about the actual scoring. They're worried about just watching the track and throwing the right
Yeah.
flags.
Right.
Yep.
So, and then we got another point of view here from an actual flagman.
Really?
Yes, from Indiana,
Okay.
who you may
This
be
will be
familiar with.
interesting to see what he has to say.
And this is before I told him about the other comment because I wanted to get his reaction to the first one. So this
I
is
see.
just his initial opinion just on the virtual flagman.
The hell are
as I
they
did.
crazy?
No. Pros for removing a body from the flag stand: maybe save a little in salary if employee is reassigned. If he wasn't reassigned, they'd save in salary.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, anyways, that's number one. Number two, that's it. And don't give me safety. You can be injured anywhere at the track. And if the flagman and spotters are doing their job, the flagman would know if danger was approaching. Flagman needs to always have an exit plan in mind in case of an evacuation is needed. At Oakshade, you would have seen a fat man diving under the back railing of the flag stand and heading for the bleachers of if the need arose.
So if somebody in
So,
the
it
tower
was
yells
Matt.
duck,
Yeah. Cons for removing the flagman. This is still from Matt here. Safety of everyone could be compromised. I'm usually the first one to see debris, especially front stretch, thus saving potential blown tire,
absolutely.
causing accident and debris flying or car getting into the fence. Number two, need someone to manually turn lights on in case of a computer and or radio failure. 3, flagman is part of the show, no matter how you look at it.
You bet.
End of story.
Amen.
No, there's more. That's not the end of the story.
But wait.
4,
Oh, wait.
flagman is another set of eyes to help make calls, another set of eyes to see potential issues in the stands. I could go on and on, but it would take too long to type. So
I don't see virtual flagmen coming into play in our area.
No. Well, and this is what he had to say about when I showed him the other
Right.
comment about them just being a puppet up in there. Honestly, certain tracks, that is very true about the puppet. He admits, especially if it is a newer flagman. Pam was that way when I first started, but roughly a month or so, she realized I knew what I was doing and would ask my opinion if there was any doubt. Traveling series are usually pretty strict if they use a local guy. And I forgot, if you pull a flagman out of the stand, it could delay getting a driver helped if injured. And he points out how many times he's jumped out of the stand down at the front stretch there. So there you go. Still a pretty hot topic there of flagmen. Are they still needed or not?
Well, and that's the one thing I actually helped Corey and Gumby over to the Thanksgiving
the
race.
Go-karts?
Yeah, the go-kart race.
You were a flagman?
I was actually on I brought a go-kart that was way outclassed when I showed up, so we let it park and went to help out the two of them, and that was very interesting to be part of the other side of it. That was I'm all for putting any more eyes on the track. Yes, not taking them away.
Lux Bailey says yes, and they help protect employees too. Our flagmen at Sandusky are always attentive to us, photographers.
Yep.
So there are a lot of people to protect there.
Let's give the photographers some radios.
Sure, let them be
they can help
spotters.
Out. Correct.
We got debris down here in turn 1. I'm taking a picture of it right now. There you go. How about we play How Many and give away some Big D's pizza?
Ooh, yeah.
Does that sound good? Actually, it's making me hungry. I know that you haven't eaten yet, have you?
No.
Well, I was talking to Craig, but yeah, I know you never eat first. But
I think my daughter got on there and gave me a slap.
What?
Thanks for telling me about this. Oh, you didn't tell her you were?
Well, I told her daughters. I was on the phone on the way, or right before coming over here, I was on the phone with Everly and Kinsley. But
and how old are they?
7 and 4.
Okay.
Old enough.
Well,
that tells that she needs to have conversation with them.
How many?
All right. Last week's how many Lucas Oil late models would be at Golden Isles on Saturday. That number was 49.
Ooh.
You said 45, Ron.
I did.
I said 48.
That means you go first
yes,
tonight.
It does mean I go first. So our winner of our listeners, you'll never guess who it was.
Dean Henry.
Well, kind of. Sort of. Let me bring him up here. There. This guy. Dean Henry as Big D's Pizza was the winner. So Big D's wins the Big D's Pizza. How exactly that works, I don't know. Maybe he gets to keep it himself, or he'll donate it. I'm sure he'll let us know in the comments.
I think we all go for a party.
So Dean actually was the only one there that had the exact amount of 49. So congratulations. He's usually pretty good at guessing these things. So he actually won this week. I know he donates it to Dave, and Dave Kemmer, our producer, and then he usually says, "Give it to." I'm not going all the way out there. There's a pizza place in my backyard. I don't even remember what it's called, but I'm just going to go there. But that's just Dave.
Well, we'll be stopping by there on the way to the races this year.
What's that, Big D's?
Sure.
It's not that far away.
Not far away.
So if you would like the chance to win some Big D's Pizza and hopefully beat Dean at his own game here, give it to Dave Kemmer. All right. Well, you and Dave can fight about that then. This week, we're going to do not quite a how many, but it's still number related.
It's a number.
Yeah. The number on the winning car at the Clash this weekend at the Coliseum, the Busch Light Clash.
And you've got to go first.
Crap, I do. And I didn't even look at who's racing and what numbers. I have no idea. Yeah. I'm going to go with 5.
Ooh, that was mine.
5 is going to be my number. You get to choose too. We'll make him go next, though.
Well, since we don't have to nail the exact number, I'm going with 6.
There you go. Go with 7.
Let's go with a 19.
19?
Let's go with 19.
Okay.
Sounds Who's driving the 19.
You got me.
It's a Gibbs car.
Is it?
I think so. Wasn't that Bell?
It's been
Christopher Bell. I think
it's been a long time since I've actually watched a NASCAR race.
So you want a chance to win a Big D's Pizza? Put your guess of the number in on our Facebook Live. A lot of people going with 8.
A lot of people going with low numbers. John,
that doesn't count.
No, I think
no, that's who 19
that's who
is.
19 is.
Oh, okay.
Really? Martin Truex.
I thought he was 14 or something.
Don't argue with John Young.
He must have jumped.
No, wait,
around.
that was Harvick. Harvick was 14.
Yes. Yep.
It's been. John would know. He's NASCAR.
And then Charlie backed it up.
I call him NASCAR. Charlie backed it up. Yep. Okay. So put your guess in. Just put a number in the Facebook live comments or the YouTube live comments. We'll give you until Sunday. They got the heat races there. Well, maybe we should cut it off on Saturday because they're running the heat races.
Yeah.
But then there's last chance races they're doing on Sunday. I don't know. Show meeting. 5:00 on Saturday.
Yeah, okay.
5 p.m. Saturday. So if you're listening to us on iTunes or whatever, find our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live and put your guess in. As long as you do it before 5:00.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to win.
Eastern
so.
On Saturday, then you are in the running for that Big D's Pizza. And you can't change your number. Once you put it in, you're locked in.
Otherwise, you can't enter twice.
Can't enter twice. All that good stuff. We don't often go over the rules, but most people know it by now.
They're basic.
They are pretty basic. There you go. So let's get that off of here. We still have a little bit of time to get in for the drawing, the hashtag DCR to win that Hammer Down Racing Report decal. Before we do that, we have to go through our Big D's Pizza Racing menu.
This weekend's Big D's Pizza Racing menu.
So not much going on around here locally, but East Bay Raceway Park, the UMP Modifieds continues through Saturday. So yeah, they started Monday, I think.
Yeah, I was watching that before coming over here, and I know
Larry Jewett on the call.
One of
down
our
there.
local drivers. I've raced with him down to Montpelier and over at Lima, Dalton Lane. When I left over there, he actually was fast time with about 30 cars already qualified.
Ooh.
So I'm not really sure how that wound up. But
why don't you have a modified down there?
I was actually really wanting to be, but surgery and everything this year has kind of played into, and I think this was our last year to.
You're going to be all healed up in time for racing. Right?
Yeah, we're going to be all healed up, back to work, and yeah.
That the UMP modified action goes on at East Bay, wrapping up on Saturday, February 3rd. That's a Saturday. Volusia Speedway Park. It's the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals featuring UMP modifieds. That'll be a Monday and Tuesday of next week, February 5th and 6th. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. They'll be moving on to Alltech Raceway. Practice tonight, but 2 racing events this weekend. The Winter Nationals, that's in Lake City, Florida, Friday and Saturday, February 1st and 2nd. Then it's the 48th Winter Nationals at East Bay Raceway Park in Tampa. That'll be taking place Monday through Saturday, February 5th through the 10th. So there's going to be a lot of racing on. A lot of racing. Few weeks. Of course, we mentioned the NASCAR Cup Series action, the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. Practice on Saturday, February 3rd at 6 o'clock, as well as the qualifying and heat races. Those begin at 8:30 on FS1 on Saturday night. Then on Sunday, they'll have the main event there starting at 8 o'clock. That'll be on Fox Broadcast Network, actually. So that'll be pretty in prime time. Down under in Australia, Bunbury Speedway. It's the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series, LJM Grand Prix, and Legend Cars. That takes place on Saturday, February 3rd. Murray Bridge Speedway. It's the Osloans Finance Strathalbyn Track Championship, Round 6, featuring Formula 500s, V6 Sprints, and Street Stocks. That also taking place on Saturday, February 3rd. Did I get that right? Strathalbyn?
Sounded close enough.
Yeah. We're going with that.
Not sure on that one.
Maybe if I did it with an Australian accent.
I might. Before we go, Craig, what's your thought on Hoosier announcing a new tire for the dirt late models?
Well, they dropped 2 bombshells and
oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I'm kind of a little. We've been dealing with this for several years now as the Hoosier dealer.
What is? Give us the overall. Right now, there's how many choices?
Right now, there
were 4 tires.
There's technically 4, but number one was only used for a very select few tracks.
A left front on
correct
qualifying.
Yeah, and they all have
so basically
whole numbers, right?
Basically, we have a 2, 3, and a 4. And
now there's going to be a 0.25.
There's going to be a 2.5. So there's going to is what they've had is through last year. They had guys that were really saying that they needed to bridge the gap in between the 2 that was a little too soft to go through a feature, and a 3 that really the threes and even the old 30s.
Yeah.
Most of the late model guys really have never liked them tires. I think it's got some different compounds in there that really I know I've talked to Rusty and some of the travelers, and they just do not like that 30 or the new 3. So they've brought out, and I noticed yesterday the other. So the frustrating part being the dealer, the Hoosier dealer, is I see these emails come through posted on Facebook, but I wasn't given one.
Yeah, you find out.
I find
when
out
everybody else
from
does.
Facebook. So we had that as an announcement the one day, and the very next day I find out that and I haven't been able to validate it, but they're talking July they're not going to allow in the UMP modifieds grooving of the tires.
Really?
On the rear. And then by 25, so we're back on this kick to where we're
so the guys that are running used stuff and fluffing them a little bit,
correct,
have to go out and buy new tires.
New tires to be competitive. And we've
That is stupid. You know that?
We have been up and down this road. I don't with the late models and modifieds probably 6 or 7 times over the last 10 years. And it always goes back to quit really handicapping the budget racers with these tires. Same way with the late models.
Yeah, the no-touch tires absolutely favor
benefit.
The well-funded teams.
Correct.
Now back to this other tire compound. Is this official, or are they talking about it?
It's on the internet.
So
it's got to be official.
Well, you're the tire suppliers.
I saw the same email that was posted on Facebook that I have not been given the official document, nor did I get a chance today to call my rep over to Hoosier to validate, but pretty much everything.
Now, wouldn't this be opening up a can of worms then if they do that? We're like, well, I want something between the 3 and the 4.
The problem I see with it is we went to this to
simplify
and
limit the number of compounds and control the cost
inventory for us. Now I'm looking at in my truck. Now I got another compound to
have to
carry.
Well,
in the truck.
And where do the local tracks stand on this?
Correct.
Are they going to allow the new compound, or are they going to stay with the 2, 3, 4 compounds?
Correct. Yeah.
What about the sanctioning bodies? I mean, their rules. Will this fall into there?
Have
a lot of things to be determined.
Again, I've seen the what would be the email or notice put out by Hoosier, but I haven't seen anything come out from Dirt Car. Have you?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah. So as far as getting with the 2 calls I'm going to need to make before stocking the truck up is Sam and then
the local tracks.
over to the local tracks, and then over to Hoosier itself to find out. I'm pretty sure it's valid, but I don't agree with it. Me personally, it was simplified to really cut down on a lot of chaos and
they're going right back to where they were.
Chaos. Yes.
So how long until they have a 3.5?
That's what I was saying.
Now you're doing what the open comps were. We got a 1300, a 13 and a quarter, a 13. Now you're filling in all these that aren't needed.
Regressing.
I kind of like some of the guys when they go up to Michigan. I'll get a run in the middle of the season with some like the wood tick and everything. To where the Michigan tracks, they put them on 30s all the way around, or number 3 all the way around. You're on a hard tire, and it makes
it is what it is.
It makes it the tire last, and when it comes down to it, it makes it fair. Everybody's on them. It was like when we were running the 60 down at Eldora on the right rear. No, it's not something we choose to do, but everybody's on the same tire. So it really equaled out. I think things like that to where you take the options out of it.
This
really
kind of goes
with
back to
competition.
Kind of goes back to our discussion with Sam Driggers from Dirt Car a couple of weeks ago, where we suggested that maybe the inmates were running the asylum.
Correct.
The top 10 guys in the 2 series, Lucas Oil and World of Outlaws, are the ones really writing the rules.
Right. And again, they should, and I'm not sure where because this came out of the blue as far as you're allowed to sipe from my understanding, but as far as the UMP modified, that came out of the,
it's a no touch tire.
No, as what I saw was you're allowed to sipe.
Okay.
It was just a no groove is what the notice I saw was. The rear is going into effect. The 2 rear tires are going to do the effect drop date of something in July, and then 2000
a burn off period using them on the front.
And then in January 1st of 25 starts the whole car.
Well, don't most of the mod guys run 26.5s on the front?
Correct.
Okay,
yeah,
so
they run 26.5s with a big right rear.
So so you've only got the left rear that you can move to the front.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Another really well thought out rule.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
How about we give away a sticker here?
Yeah.
Is that
Let's do that.
Let's just wrap this
Sorry,
up.
I brought that up, kids.
Hashtag DCR if you haven't done that in the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live.
1 second. I got to give a hi to Everly.
Yeah, I popped that up earlier. You were too busy talking about tires.
We had the tire conversation. Hi, Everly.
There you go.
Hi, Kinsley.
Hashtag DCR if you've already put it in the comments of the Facebook Live or YouTube Live or YouTube Live. You get 2 entries that way. That's the cheating way. It's not really cheating. It's working the system. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Finding the gray areas.
Yes. So we're going to do that drawing for the Hammer Down Race Report window sticker, courtesy of DCR Graphics. It looks like there's quite a few entries there. We got 31 of them in here.
Ooh,
so you have
baby.
a 1 in 31 chance of winning here tonight. So here we go. And again, these are only $5. So if you don't win, you can always call up DCR Graphics. And
Except on the Hammer Down Racing Report, they are free.
Yes.
Wow.
Courtesy of DCR Graphics. Yep. So here we go. Who's going to be the winner this week? Herbie Haynes.
Herbie.
Congratulations, Herbie. You are the winner of...
You have 30 days to pick it up at Ron Miller Race Cars.
There you go. Yes. Congratulations.
He was there this afternoon.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he's a frequent visitor.
Well, he's going to have to come back now.
Or Grandpa.
Right.
So,
Grandpa is.
One of them are.
Next week, we'll give away one of the special edition ones that you can't buy on the show. Okay. Is it good with that? That's going to do it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report.
Well, that jumped up and bit us.
Thanks to associate producer Dave Kemmer, contributors John Young, Matt Swander, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can always check us out at HammerDownRacingReport.com. More information on the Hammer Down Army there, HammerDownRacingReport.com as well. Rate and review us. Take the time to put a little review up. That helps us too. Good or bad. Preferably good, but whatever. Share us with your friends. Thanks to our sponsors, DCR Graphics, Dominator Race Products, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, and Freeze Frame Photos. Thanks again to Craig for coming in. Craig Dippman.
You're welcome.
Again,
Thanks for having me.
Showdown Series champion.
Yeah, 419-318-3081. Let us know what you think about the show or anything that we've talked about.
There you go. We'll be back next Thursday evening with another fun and exciting show. We already talked about a possible guest, but we'll just wait to reveal who that is.
We'll announce it somewhere in the next couple of days.
Usually on Mondays. It's usually when I get to that stuff. So in the meantime, we're out of here. We'll see you next Thursday.
Yeah.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.